Alice of the Greene, a story from the House of King by StoryMan-Jack. Alice ran. She ran like she'd never run before. Her tears streamed down her perfect skin. She was late. Oh, it couldn't be. She was late. It was her beauty that was the problem. I wish I were frickin' ugly. Commonly referred to as the perfect Irish lass, she had perfect, glowing skin, marred only with a small scattering of freckles across her nose. Her long red hair curled perfectly, as if a duke's wife had done it for her every morning. Her eyes, though, her eyes were the green of fresh clover and glowed brilliantly in the sunlight. It was her beauty that was the problem. The abuse started just after her 8th summer. First her father, then her uncles, and before too long, even the old missionary from the Christian church had a turn on her. She hated her life, her looks, and her entire world. Far too long she'd been screaming into the recesses of her own mind. Oh, they didn't give her chores to do, and people came from all around to give her gifts, but it was like awful. Their praise of her beauty, their gifts were like dung in her mouth. Her life was pain, and she wanted nothing more than release. She knew that even her brief disappearance to see the old Druid woman for certain herbs, she would be beaten. But if they found her with child, they would near kill her. She stopped. Would that be so bad, she thought? The sweet release of this life? Climbing the hill up to the copse of scraggly trees where the old woman's cottage sat squat in the morning light, she reflected silently on the pain of her life. The old woman already stood stooped in the doorway as Alice approached. "Child, I've been waiting. Come in." Alice didn't even notice. Her adrenaline was spiked, thinking of the pain they would put her through for this. Mother Neve, She bit her lip. "Sit, child," the old lady said, shutting the door and turning to the little kitchen. "I have some tea for you." Alice sat and pushed her hair back out of her face and rubbed her bleary eyes. Mother Neve came back with a cup filled with tea. "What have they done to you, girl?" she asked, shaking her head. "No need to answer. I can see you're with child." Her eyes grew hard. "Which bastard was on it?" she asked. Alice shook her head. "It's so hard to know." The old lady sat and deliberately sipped her own tea, with dark eyes locked upon Alice's. "If I help you with this, it will just keep happening. You know that." Alice laughed, a genuine, deep-bellied laugh. "You think I've not tried to fight?" She snorted. "They tell me it's like a compulsion on them, like a spell. That they know that they're doing wrong, but they cannot help themselves. My father cried for days after the last time." Old Mother Neve nodded knowingly. Child, did he cry for his beautiful bright lass? Or did he cry for his own self-loathing? Ones such as those deserve no one's sympathy, child. And no, dear, you haven't fought back, not with the weapons of power." She paused and stood, moving her head very close to Alice's ear. "The fools have given you the most powerful weapon they could have." Alice sat stunned, trying to run through her head how she could use a child against them. The moment she showed, they would beat her until she lost the babe anyway, or died. "Come and lay down. I'll give you some more of this tea, and it will open your mind, disconnect you from the real. And there, you may learn ways there is to escape this torturous existence." Alice let herself be led to a bed in the next room. She'd already had a full cup of the tea. She lay down and looked at the old lady in the eyes, which were full of sympathy. What do I do? The old man moved over to the old woman moved over to the corner and got a stool to sit upon. Just drink the rest of the tea. She brought it with them. Alice had no idea when she'd refilled the cup. What is it? Alice asked, unsure. A mixture of mushrooms and other plants. It will open your mind, Mother Neve said. You will drink it, you will relax, and you will hear my words. You will see many things, and eventually you will have to make a decision. Alice sipped the tea. What kind of decision? She asked. That I cannot say, child, for this is your task, your journey. I'm just opening the door for you. You may find death, you may find another life, and you may find oblivion. This is a chance only. The old lady patted her hand. Drink it all down now, child, and think of your need, your most desperate desire. Alice drained the cup. She felt very tired and relaxed. She lay back and put her head upon the pillow as if to sleep. If I just drift off, she drowsed. Not yet, child, the old lady said. You must undress. I will cover your body with certain herbs. As if in a dream, Alice stood and undressed herself. She lay there, falling deeper, and found from one moment to the next that she'd been sprinkled with dried herbs. Several urns smoked with the scent of other cleansing herbs. Close your eyes, child, the old woman's voice came to her. I want you to relax and let yourself float. This is the ether. This is the place not in time, not connected to the real. You float in neither light nor dark, but in the space between, in the ether. What do you feel, child? Alice wanted to say she felt good, relaxed, for the first time in her life without fear. I understand, child. You have been given the first gift, the gift of our order, the gift of fearlessness. Now, child, Alice, listen to my words. Feel them in your body. Yes, Alice murmured, as if in a trance, and traced her fingers from her womanhood to her breasts. Feel the words. Her whisper was sensual and automatic. She was feeling something building deep inside her belly. Listen to my words. Feel them. Understand that there are no locks, and those that you have placed can be broken. What is right, child? What is wrong? Is what they do to you right? Is doing nothing in retribution right? What is right, child, is what those with power say it is. What makes you feel good is what is right, child. Reach down, touch yourself, and understand that there are no rules. There are no real restraints. For those who have power, make those rules. Let go and experience what it is to revel in flesh, to feel pain and to give pain, and to stay on the edge of that tiny death. What is moral? Is it what they tell you? Or do you make your own morality with your power to make it so? Feel your sex, girl. Feel that power. That is our power as a woman, child. That's what we were made for, and we can use it to bend all men to our wills. Woman, sex, the little death, pain, Alice growled as her hand moved over her own body and she writhed. Let go. of the preconceived rules. They never applied to you, girl. They break them with every glance your way at your beauty. Live in the flesh. Experience and take what your senses will. Live in the bliss. There is nothing else but that feeling, that sensation. Use it, and use that power to destroy them all. How? Alice asked, her voice catching as her hands worked over her own body. Give your unborn child to what comes forth. Give in to him. Alice almost came out of it then, but she was taken in that moment, that point of complete ecstasy, when any suggestion would be taken, that moment when the senses are so overwhelmed by physical need and hunger for completion that anything seems possible, everything feels good. How? Alice demanded. Spread your legs, the old woman instructed, and the old lady stood suddenly tall, and a rabbit jerked in her hands. With swift, practiced, experienced movement, she slashed the animal's throat with a little stone-bladed dagger. Dark Lord, I give this blood. I call forth your agent and give this sacrifice and this child for your approval. The man was beautiful, like an elf from the stories. His eyes were blue and understanding, and she knew he would be gentle, not like those brutes in the village. His long golden hair reached down below his shoulders, and his smile brightened her day. His hand touched her cheek, and she heard Mother Neve's voice. You must take him into you, and you must use that pain. Outside the dream, the room shook with power, and a beast and a monster out of nightmares stood before the beautiful young girl writhing on the bed. He had the head of a goat, and the hooves of a horse, and the torso of a man, but its manhood was deformed and spiked. You must take it from him, pull him into you, and force him to give you his power, the old lady screamed. Fear filled her voice and her eyes, but she never wavered. An entity of this power she had never known. The room darkened. The odor of brimstone filled the air. Both women choked upon the fumes of hell itself. I must take it, Alice finished, her voice unearthly and dark. And in her trance, the young girl reached up and pulled the monster to her, the pain shattering the dream, almost pulling her out of the world of possibilities. But the old woman screamed again, No, you must take it from him. You must force it. Show him your power. Take from him what they took from you. And she felt it, felt the power flood through her as the monster released. Understanding, that was the second gift. She understood her choice, and she had chosen a filth of maggots and rotten meat. She chose evil and darkness and blood over light. She chose the darkness to use as her tool to repay the men and women of her village that had tortured her for her entire life. The light wouldn't allow retribution, but this darkness would. She would be the demon's fiercest devotee, his whore, because of the power that darkness offered and the path to everlasting life. What was this body? She would sacrifice it up to things less than this. In a moment, the girl that had been a quiet, withdrawn, and abused beautiful child was no more. The old woman was no more, burned by the fires of hell where she stood. Alice, Alice of the Greene, witch and newest disciple of Angrael, the fallen angel, came to life in her place. A woman who was no longer pregnant, a woman filled with the fire of hell, not a girl, but a witch, demon whore of the Green Isle, Alice of the Greene. The demon had taken the unborn child and the old woman in exchange for power, immediate power, to make those who had hurt her pay. The home village of Alice Keiteler was no more in the year of our Lord, 1280. That was the very date of Alice's 18th birthday. The storm that was said to destroy the village was one of such ferocity that the destruction had never been seen before or since anywhere else on the isle. It is whispered, however, in corners, in dark places, that Alice, also known as Alice Kinkinley, or Alice of the Greene, has been seen from time to time throughout history, and in her wake men have burned from both lust and the fires of hell. Once again, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. It either entertained or gave you some knowledge to help you. Please leave a comment and let me know how I'm doing, how I can do better. And remember, always like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.